Further debate? Further debate. I recognize the member from Ottawa South.
Thank you very much, Speaker, and it's a pleasure to speak to Bill 223. Public safety is important to Ontarians, important to Ontario families, and there are measures in this bill that are going to help with that regard. I do want to say, though, I do agree with some of the things around bail reform, but the thing I have the most concern about, or one of the things I have the most concern about in this bill, is that while the government's pointing the finger towards Ottawa, it's doing nothing about court delays. Nothing. And we know that court delays force judges to do things like worry about the constitutionality of whether someone gets a fair trial. We know it's a problem. So I would take what the government's doing more to heart, and I'm going to support the bill if they actually were doing something on court delays. And, everybody can shrug it off and go, it's not our fault. Well, it is. It's that simple. Fix court delays. I know the government's planning to build more jails. The important thing is that jails are safe places for the people who are there, the people who work in there, the correctional officers, the nurses, the administrators. They need to be safe places. And when they're not safe places, then what happens is we get someone either getting a reduced sentence or not being sent there. So I know about jails because my dad used to work in the correction system for a long time. And the most important thing is calm and order. I know the Solicitor General knows that, and I'm sure that's what he's aspiring to achieve in each and every correctional institution. They have to be safe places. I want to reiterate that. Now, the thing that I have the most concern about in this bill, and I voted for it, is what's happening with safe consumption sites. I agree. They shouldn't be that close to schools. I think we all agree on that. Safe consumption sites are there to save lives. You can't treat somebody if they're dead. It's that simple. So, while I'm supporting this bill, it's incumbent upon the government to ensure that there is not a large gap in service. I know the government's got RFPs out there, and they're looking for people to for the new program, which includes addictions treatment and counselling. But if there's a big gap, if people can't go to a place where it's safe for them, we're not going to be able to treat them because they're not going to be alive. So that's the biggest concern I have with the bill. I know the members the members on the other side were a bit excited that I voted with them a couple of times this morning, but just make no mistake about it. I know what the game at hand is here, right? But we got to make sure that those people who are suffering from addictions, who are at risk of dying, they're people's sons and daughters and mothers and fathers, that we make sure that as of March 31st this year, we don't have a gigantic gap in service that's going to result in more people dying and not being able to get addictions treatment. Those sons and daughters, those mothers and fathers, those aunts and uncles, those friends and neighbors. Thanks, Speaker.
Thank you.